Welcome to decentralized.tv, a brand new show here on Brighteon.com. I'm Mike Adams, the founder of Brighteon, free speech video platform. And today we announce an exciting new show. It's called decentralized.tv. That's the website for it as well. Decentralized.tv, you'll find social media links and email subscribe lists there, plus every episode that we broadcast, and we will broadcast across every platform. At least the ones that don't ban us for talking about freedom through privacy and human dignity and so much more. Now, I want to introduce my co-host for the series here. His name is Todd Pitner. Welcome to the show, Todd. You're on with the first episode of decentralized.tv.
This has been amazing how we got to this point, Mike. It is a true pleasure to co-host this with you, and I look forward to the series. And again, my name is Todd Pitner, and I self-identify as unconfiscatable private property.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, all right. We may challenge that at some point. We'll see if you are confiscatable. But thanks for bringing up the concept. That is a lot of what this show is about. Let me share with the audience what this is about, and then Todd, I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself, and I'll introduce myself for all the new viewers. But this show is about decentralized living, and the slogan of the show is building the infrastructure of human freedom. Mm-hmm. And we already have some amazing guests lined up in the weeks ahead. And we're going to start at one episode a week and probably increase that pretty quickly. And we have guests that are leaders and innovators of many different projects. Some of them are crypto projects. And you and I both, Todd, we prefer privacy-oriented cryptocurrency for reasons we'll discuss.
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
But we're all about decentralization, which means decentralized food and farming, decentralized medicine or medical choices, decentralized education, which can mean homeschooling, right? Decentralizing your life so that you get away from the tyranny of centralized control, the corruption of control, the authoritarianism, and the censorship that now characterizes so many of these regimes. But I do want to say that for all this show, and I think you agree with me, Todd, this is a non-political show. So we're not talking
100%.
about politics or Trump or Biden or whatever. Nope. Yeah, your comments.
We will leave the ideologies to others in another show because decentralized freedom for the masses is for everyone. And,
that's right.
We don't care if you're black, white, speak English or don't, 5'2", 6'8". We believe that you deserve to be free as well. And financial freedom, decentralized freedom is what's mission critical. And we're going to unpack that, Mike.
Well, absolutely. I would even add to that, Todd. It doesn't matter to us. I mean, if you want to watch the show, you deserve to be free. It doesn't matter to me if you're gay, lesbian, straight, cis, trans, or into furries. Whatever. You deserve private digital money. You deserve decentralization. Yes. You deserve the right to choose your food, your medicine, your life, your education for your children. It doesn't matter to me what your sexual orientation is, your country of origin, what language you speak, whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, Sikh, whatever. Okay. So this show is the most inclusive format that you can think of, because we believe, both of us, I think you'll agree with this, Todd, we both believe that every human being deserves the right to privacy and to own the product of their own labor, which would be, a storage of value, right?
Yeah. So let's you kind of brushed on it. Let's just hit a few of these. When you and I began discussing this, we were just kind of spitballing, throwing out there, what is this going to be about? Decentralized what? And privacy, freedom, finance, money, commerce, communication, speech, food. You mentioned farms, Mike. Private property, preparedness. We're going to talk a lot about that.
Yeah, like going off grid is decentralizing from the power grid, for example.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, 100%. And medicine. I mean, you can talk a lot about decentralized medicine, electricity. You mentioned education, health, security, technology, intellectual property, elections, fundraising, and my favorite, family. Decentralized family. That's kind of interesting.
Decentralized what?
Family. Our families deserve decentralization. Bottom line is we just need to get out from under the thumb of the system.
Yes.
Because the system, as it is growing, I mean, like a cancer, it is wanting to be so invasive to where if the powers that be had it their way, there would be nothing in our lives that is private. It
Yeah,
would all be surveilled.
exactly. We're about to live under global centralized tyranny through, I mean, the UN and the WHO are both putting forth things. Essentially, I saw an article calling it global electronic Nazism or
Oh,
fascism.
that's nice.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't political. We don't care about your political views. Those of you watching this, we think that whatever your views, you deserve to be free. Let's do some introductions. So Todd, you and I actually have only known each other a little while. You came out of another project, and you just did a live stream talking about that project. Now, but let's keep this short on both yours and mine. But give our viewers a background of who you are, how we met, and why we're doing this show together, and what you're all about.
I'm a very good athlete. I'll just rewind. I outswum 28 million competitors to my mother's ovum. I shouldn't go back that far, Mike. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm 58 years old. I am a business person. My professional day job, I'm the head of partnership development for a venture collective out of Manhattan. We have 22 portfolio companies. And I've been with them for 25 years. It's an amazing group of people. And a few years ago, when COVID hit and everything started to happen, I don't know. I just felt something was wrong out there, and I started going down these rabbit holes and started calling it pretty early. And I launched a YouTube channel where I was just kind of like, I think they hijacked flu season and rebranded it. And long story, tolerable, is I had during 2020, because I was speaking about that subject, I was heavily censored. I had 7 YouTube channels banned, and I know that's near and dear to your heart. You know how that goes.
Oh, if you want to play the censorship upmanship game, one-upsmanship.
I lose.
Wait till you hear my censorship stories, but go ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. This is why you own this platform. And finally, I was exhausted at the end of 2020 because every time they ban you, it's so hard to get, subscribers back. And so in 2021, somebody introduced me at a very base level to crypto. I knew how to spell Bitcoin, but I knew nothing about the asset class. And so I decided I would kind of pivot and launch a channel that would be dedicated to my journey into crypto as an old dude, and I just started live streaming about my experiences. Like, what is Bitcoin? I don't really understand what a blockchain is. How do I get my money from my bank into a Bitcoin? Well, what's an exchange? What's a wallet? What's a cold storage wallet? What do you mean send TX's hash rate? None of it. It was just all blue. And so I just started doing what you should do, which is within crypto, you just kind of have to dive into the shallow end head first and just start ugly and get involved. And so that led to me getting a pretty good following of people who were like me, that they were just crypto newbies. And so people liked it, and I started getting guests on, and I went through and discovered that what I really, really, really desired was private money. I started to realize real quick, when you have public blockchains, that they are surveilled. And if somebody has your address, they can literally tell everything that's in your wallet, what you've spent it on, who you spent it on. And so I fell in love with the notion of private crypto, and I invited different projects on my show, and I conducted what were called Bitcoin trials. And basically, I was judge and jury. I'd have the head of a project come on, and I would declare them Bitcoin at the beginning, and they had 45 minutes to convince me otherwise. And that was fun. That led me to a couple of different projects.
So wait a second. Let me. Yeah. What's cool about what you're saying so far is that you're relatively new to crypto, just a few years.
Totally.
You kind of got into it, later than most people that are currently, let's say, Bitcoiners or what have you.
That's right.
And you were taking a big picture view of sort of what's out there, and you discovered that privacy oriented crypto was what you needed. And I heard I don't know who was saying this, but I saw somebody on a video just yesterday saying that, you know how Monero is a privacy coin, and they're saying that Monero is what noobs thought they bought when they bought Bitcoin.
Right.
Like they. Oh, and by the way, can I state, and I'll let you continue. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
sure, no problem.
I will probably interrupt you a few times here and there, but
always.
This show is crypto neutral, right? So this is a principle that we need, and we've talked about this offline, but we are not here to push a specific coin or project. This is not a pump and dump show. It's not a rug pull show. It's nothing like that. We are going to survey everything that's available. We're going to have a lot of people coming in and talking.
Yeah.
You may not even know this, but I've got somebody from Dash coming in that's on the schedule now. We've got somebody from Firo coming in. We're looking for somebody from Monero and so on. But we are going to look at a lot of projects, not just finance either, and just have an honest assessment of what's out there and what's available. So getting back to you, but you discovered that you needed your crypto assets to be private, which makes perfect sense. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of like, the best analogy I have is if I'm going to go to the airport and I'm laid over somewhere and I have to go to the restroom stall, I'm going to prefer to go to the one with the door that's not see-through. I just kind of fundamentally feel that it's my right to have my business be private. And so if you think about it the same way with your money, with crypto, it's like nobody deserves to be able to know my business just because I paid him something. Like if I paid a plumber $50, it would be horrible if that plumber could just go to my bank and say, hey, I just got paid $50 and here's a number on it. Can you look that up? Yes, sir. How much money does Todd have in his account? Oh, well, this much. Can you tell me about his transactions this past month? Sure, I can print out the whole history of it. And when I realized that that's what you could do with Bitcoin, for example, and I love Bitcoin because Bitcoin is kind of the gateway into privacy coins. So it's very, very important. It just became self-evident to me that in the future, especially, and we're going to talk about these central bank digital currencies, probably in our next show with our guest. That's serious business, folks. If you are just hand-waving CBDCs, man, oh man, you don't know what you are in for. That is a complete control system. And so we need to be able to get outside the system and transact with each other and exchange value with each other without the overlords being able to surveil us, confiscate anyone, or be invasive in any such way. So that over the last 3 years, my channel grew. My channel on YouTube is the Uncle V channel, Uncle Vigilante. It's, if you Google search that. I fell in love with one particular project. It's called Epic Cash. I love the attributes of that technology. Monero, my goodness, you're right. Firo, there are so many great private cryptos out there, and we're going to explore them all. And Mike, why don't you just share, how we got together?
Well, yeah, let me give people a little bit of background on myself as well. So I'm one of the most censored and banned and deplatformed people in the world. I was actually deplatformed before Alex Jones was deplatformed, by the way. And YouTube cut off my channel, I think it was in 2015. And Facebook, we had 2.5 million followers before they cut us off years ago. But people know me as the Health Ranger, and healthrangerstore.com is our e-commerce site. We use revenues from the store to build this platform, Brighteon.com, which has become very successful and popular. We have Brighteon.tv, which is live streaming news every day. We have BrighteonRadio.com. We have over 60 hosts that have programs throughout the week, including Ann Vandersteel and many, many others. And this show will air on Brighteon.tv every Wednesday, by the way, in addition to posting on other platforms. And we're also platform neutral too. So we support other platforms like Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey. And we think that decentralization is a great thing. We built Brighteon.social, and that was before Truth Social came along, or Getter. It was after Gab already was in existence, and so on. A lot of different platforms. We use them all where we're not banned, because obviously we're banned on Facebook and Twitter. Elon Musk still bans myself, and
he never brought you back.
No. The walrus refuses to restore the health ranger. So that's on Elon. Maybe we'll talk about him later on another show, or maybe we'll invite him on and see if he'll stop by. Because
there you go.
His new office, his manufacturing facility in Austin, is within driving distance from this studio. So we'll welcome him in if he wants to swing by someday. But I doubt it. Nevertheless, so I've been heavily censored. I do sound off on a lot of controversial issues. Generally speaking, I'm not going to cover those on this show.
Right.
We're not talking about medicine, health, politics, that kind of stuff here, except in the sense of decentralization.
Yes.
And but being who I am, I've interviewed thousands of people over the last few years. I do, I don't know, maybe 300 interviews a year. I don't know the exact number, 250, something like that. And I meet a lot of interesting people. And so the point is, I'm all about human liberty, freedom, your right to choose, your right to free speech. And that goes with food. It goes with, whether you want to say yes or no to a medical intervention, and your right to keep the product of your labor. So that's my background. Sorry, I went on too long. Back to you, Todd.
No. Well, I just have to insert something. I had the pleasure of come visiting you in Austin and actually being interviewed in your studio. And I know you take personal security very seriously.
Yeah.
And I have to share with everyone, I talk with my hands. And like I'll hit the table with my hands. And I was right in the middle of an interview with Mike, and I hit the table, and over the desk jumps this. It's not German Shepherd. What is it, Mike?
No, it's a Belgian Malinois.
A Belgian Malinois, and he gets right in between us, and he thought, I don't know if he thought it was a gun that went off or whatever, but that was one of those moments to where I don't know if my shorts got out of there clean, Mike.
Well, Rhodey is his name, and yeah, he's sitting right over here. He's hanging out. We'll introduce him to the show fans here, maybe in a future episode. But yeah,
yes,
I do take security seriously, but also take privacy seriously. Excuse me. And like you, Todd, I've become enthralled with the idea of private digital money. Now, let's get into some discussion here. But for those watching who are into gold and silver, I am too, and I have here's a solid silver 7.62 by 51 round, by the way, that was given to me by John Bush.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I think we'll have John in as a guest, but yeah, I have that on my desk. Solid silver. Not usable, of course, because it doesn't have primer and powder, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
It's more than a silver bullet. It's an entire silver cartridge. In any case, gold and silver are wonderful. Gold and silver will outlast the rise and fall of every human civilization. And they have. They've been around, since the beginning of the universe, frankly. They're elements on the table of elements. And gold doesn't need passwords, doesn't need electricity, right? And no one can take it from you except by physical force. However, it's really hard to pay online with gold and silver. It's really hard to send gold and silver to somebody that you might need to help out.
And it's really hard to make divisible.
Oh yeah, true, right. It's how do you divide this into 1,000 pieces of silver? It's also hard to take it with you if you're a refugee fleeing a war zone.
That's right.
Or fleeing tyranny, like somebody fleeing Venezuela, let's say, or innocent people who are caught in the crossfire over in Ukraine right now, and they're trying to get out of Ukraine. What if you knew some of those people, and you're like, hey, I can help you. I can send you, let's say, some crypto, because they still have internet access in most areas over there. They still have cell phone access. They could get some crypto, and maybe they could then use the crypto to get food or transportation, or stay in someone's home, rent a room, whatever, just get out of the battle zone. But I wouldn't send Bitcoin because Bitcoin is traceable.
Yeah.
And you don't know, like, would you be accused of something if you sent Bitcoin to like the Donbass region or something? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Somebody might jump on you. Oh, State Departments. Oh, what are you sending money to the Russians? No, I'm trying to help a family escape with their kids,
Right.
So
right.
I want privacy. So
Yes.
I want private digital money. And that would be all the things we're talking about. It's Monero, and you came out of the Epic Cash community. It's Firo. It's a bunch of them. And that's why that's our focus. But
yeah, that's right. The other thing is with gold and silver is it's not very it's not very confiscation resistant, right? If you're like, oh no, they're coming, grab the gold, honey, put it in your pockets, put it in your purse, let's go out the back door. And the more you want to take, the heavier you're gonna be. Right.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna get stolen at some point in time. So yeah, you want digital gold is kind of the goal here.
Well, I think people should have both, right? Because
yes,
I think
of course.
In case of a total collapse scenario when there's no electricity, you want physical
100%.
gold and silver, right?
Yeah.
In case
it's a combination of it all, for sure.
And
you need to be diversified across all of these asset classes. But a lot of people, especially who I'm in my upper 50s, are my age, are not necessarily young enough to kind of have the aha factor as to what is blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. And so it's an on-ramp. It's an on-ramp.
Yeah.
And we're going to hold the hands of any audience member who wants to just kind of learn how.
It'll
be like Crypto 101.
In fact, in every show here, folks, we're going to show you a basic skill. And we're going to assume that you're starting from zero on this. And today we're going to show you just how to download a multi-coin wallet. We're just going to show you the Exodus wallet today and the Monero wallet. I'm just going to show you how to do this, and just how to get started and some use cases for this. But there's something else I forgot to cover, Todd, that I need to cover. Yeah. For people who are wondering, because until relatively recently, I was very outspoken against the hype in crypto.
Right.
And I was not at all a fan of that hype. I always understood peer-to-peer technology, and I always supported that idea, by the way. But I have not been a Bitcoin promoter or any coin promoter. And it really turned me off, in fact, the whole pump and dump, like FOMO, buy now.
Right.
Or even McAfee claiming it was going to go to $1 million a coin and so on. Which it's funny because, of course, it probably will eventually as the dollar collapses. Everything's going to go to $1 million a coin. Yeah. Because the dollar's going to be worthless.
The cabbage I buy at the store is going to be $2 million.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you want to be a billionaire, just hold dollars and wait for the collapse. I mean, there you go. But if you actually want to still have value, you're going to need to get out of dollars and get into something else that holds value, which is kind of what this is about. But I just want to be clear to people. Someone can look up some old videos of mine and is like, oh, you were railing against Bitcoin. Well, no, I was railing against the FOMO pump and dump type of messaging. Yeah, but what I believe in is the utility of these coins. And that's where I think the real value comes in, because you and I, Todd, actually, can I make this announcement?
Yeah, please.
On my platform, actually, let me bring this up. On my platform, Brighteon.com, I just announced, my devs told me this last night, I was super excited. If you go to here's a video. It's me interviewing Michael Yan, by the way. And you see this right here, it says tip crypto. And if you click that button, then boom, and this feature is available to everybody. That is my Monero wallet receive address right there.
Awesome.
And by the way, we're going to add much more than Monero to this.
Yep.
Other privacy coins. Hopefully we'll have like half a dozen in here at some point. But anybody can go on to Brighteon.com right now. So this is a use case, right? This is not some like buy low, sell high. This is, hey, what can we do with this crypto that's real world? So right now, anybody can go on to Brighteon.com. They can create an account. They can upload videos. In fact, if you go to the homepage, like here's all these people, all these channels, and this is just from the last hour or whatever.
Wow.
And there's, millions of videos, there's hundreds of thousands of users, there's, tens of millions of viewers, and anybody can just enable crypto tipping on their account by putting their receive address in their dashboard.
That was fast.
Yeah,
your devs are good.
Well, this one was simple. It didn't require us to integrate, anything really. But and you, I'm keeping my promise, Todd. I told you I was going to do this, right? And here it is. It's done. And now anybody can earn crypto by having videos on Brighteon.com. And here's the beautiful thing. And then I want your reaction, Todd. We, the platform owners, we don't keep anything because the tip doesn't come to us. It goes to the content creator. We don't have log files. We don't have knowledge. We don't have records of who got tipped, how much, nor do we want to. And we don't keep even 1%. 100% goes to the creator. What do you think about that?
Well, I would like to know, I have never monetized my channel, by the way. I never wanted to do that. I didn't want my channel, the audience, I didn't want them to go through commercials to be able to pay me anything. So I've never monetized it, but it would have, what you are offering now would have been very cool, because people from the goodness of their own heart, it's kind of value for value. If you like the value of content you're receiving, to be able to just very simply digitally tip them to where YouTube doesn't take what, 30%? I think that's the number, maybe even a bit more. But it's really amazing that you have operationalized that. You've integrated that on behalf of your content providers because you value their free speech. What you just did is the most pro-freedom thing that could possibly be done at this point in time to support your content providers, is just give them the opportunity to privately receive income or donations, I should say, from caring members who really, it's nobody's business if I want to tip, Sean from SGT Report, $10 in Monero, in Epic, in Firo, right?
Yeah.
Mike. But the thing that I learned about you and why I think you and I clicked so early is, instead of the, invest in this crypto, it's gonna go to the moon, we're gonna get rich, Lambos. Instead of that, Mike, your quest and zeal for the utility, what we have to do, we have to understand that this world is one big network run by the banking cartel worldwide. It is their network. And if you want to get out from underneath that network, you're going to have to stop using the network's money.
Yes.
And so this is a way that you are effectuating that. And I applaud you, man. We were joking earlier that there's somebody who I recently said, oh, well, there are a lot of Mike Adams out there. No, there aren't. Dummy. There's one Mike Adams who gets it, who gets the fact. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I'm the only founder of a video platform that has integrated crypto tipping, and that just happened. And it's only the beginning, by the way.
I know.
We're going to accept crypto payments in our stores and so on. So this is about, a lot of people talk about the parallel economy, which is it's a big focus of our show here. But when they talk about it, it's like, what are you actually doing to build it? Like, what are you doing to make it? And for a lot of people, it's just, I just buy Bitcoin and that's it. Well, that's not really building a parallel economy if you just buy and sit on a coin. We need to use these coins. We need to use them in payments. So let me demonstrate that right now. I've got my phone here, and I've got, what do I have? I have three XMR right here on Monero, okay? 3.1. I'm rich, $481. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to take this and now show my screen, guys, because on my screen, this is just as with my video here.
Yep.
You see this QR code. I could scan that QR code and I could tip myself like that, but that wallet's not actually here. So I'm going to click receive on my Monero wallet. It's going to show me another code here, right? I just want to show the audience how easy this is. I know for those who are crypto experienced, like everybody's been doing this for years, but I just want to show people. So all I'm doing here is I'm clicking on the QR code scanner, and I'm scanning the QR code on my that's on the screen. Okay, and I'm going to enter like 0.03. Okay, I'm going to send myself 0.03 Monero. I click send, and it says confirm sending. I click OK. It says sent successfully. Okay, now I go back to my Monero account here and transactions. Oh, look, boom. Show my screen. Yeah, 0.03. There it is. How many seconds was that? Todd, is like
So fast.
5 seconds.
So fast.
Right?
Yeah.
So now,
Just so fast.
I mean, it's in the wallet. Now it's got to go through confirmations, as you can see there, but I just used Monero in this case. And again, we're gonna support many privacy coins. I just used Monero to send money, digital money, to, in this case, myself, but I could have sent it to anybody on Brighteon.com that is using this system.
That's right.
And importantly, and I'd like your comments, Todd, nobody knows that was just sent, and nobody needs to know.
No. And why? I mean, just think about it. If I don't know, let's just say that you go out into your neighborhood and you have, 20 lemonade stands, and you go and you have some cash and you exchange value, value for value. You get a nice, big, delicious lemonade and you give whomever's selling it, $1 or whatever. That's between you and that person. Why should tipping anyone online be any different? Why is it anybody's business? That's what I love about peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. And that's, that is not surveilled. A lot of people don't realize. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, and also about this, so you don't need permission from anybody to do this. And again,
No.
I know that this concept of a permissionless system, this is old hat for crypto experts. But for a lot of our audience who might be new to this, normally when you try to work through a bank, you have to have their permission to take money out, even to deposit a check. We had a situation recently where we had a wealthy donor in Texas that gave us $500,000 for our nonprofit on the condition that we donated that money out to like 20 plus independent media people. Number one, we had trouble cashing the check because they're like $500,000. We don't know if we can trust it.
Yep.
Like, what do you mean? We do millions of dollars of business through this bank. What are you talking about? And then when we wrote the checks and we went through a payment service, they froze it. They said, "Oh, it might be fraud. Why are you paying out $500,000? Well, we're giving money away." "Oh, that might be fraud." And then when the people got the checks, some of them had trouble cashing the checks.
Gosh.
For the same reason, because where is this check from? And people were interrogated by their banks to be able to deposit checks, and we had to reissue some of the checks too.
Right.
So, if we had just sent crypto, it would have been done, like permissionless.
So just leveraging my experience over the last couple of years covering Epic Cash, if you had to do that all over again and you had $500,000 of Epic, how would you send it? How would they receive it? How fast would that happen? And who would know?
Well, first of all, if I were sending it to somebody that needed to convert it back into fiat, we would have to choose a coin that's got very high trading volume so they can get in and out pretty easily.
Correct.
Right. So that tends to point to larger trading volume types of coins.
Correct.
Which Bitcoin is the largest volume, but again, it doesn't have the privacy. In the privacy sector, Monero is the largest privacy coin. So if I knew somebody was going to cash it out, I would send them Monero.
Yeah.
If I knew somebody just wanted to keep it or use it through other means themselves, then I would consider some of the other coins that you just mentioned, such as Epic. But the point is, the Mimblewimble blockchain tech is really amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's used by several projects even beyond Epic. And also, Lelantis used by Firo and so on. There's a lot of interesting tech out there.
We're going to be interviewing Ruben very soon, right?
Yes, he's on the schedule. And
with Firo.
with
He's
Firo, exactly.
Yeah.
And we've actually we have people interviewing from 3 different crypto projects right now that are all privacy oriented, and we're contacting at least 3 or 4 others. But some of them wanted to see this show first,
Right.
the episode that
Right.
we're filming now. They want to see the show to make sure. And the other thing I found out, Uncle, this is funny. When we contacted a lot of people at first to say, hey, look, I'm the founder of Brighteon.com. We're talking about decentralized living. We're launching a new show, decentralized.tv. We'd like to have you on as a guest. You know what one of the common answers has been?
What's that?
How much do you charge to interview us? Right.
Money.
I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Yes.
No, we just want you to come on and do an interview. You don't pay us. But apparently that's a common thing.
Oh my gosh. Within our community, we wanted to kind of have an exchange with this major influencer who was a Bitcoin author, and to be able to get on there just to have a healthy debate was $8,000.
Wow. Really? $8,000 to be interviewed.
Yeah. Is that not nuts?
But see, I think that's crazy, because then how does the public even know? I mean, does the person doing the interviews, do they disclose that they're being paid to do those interviews?
They do not. And I will tell you, Mike, that's what's going to make this show so powerful. Anybody out there who has a project that is focused on decentralization, privacy, freedom, please feel free. Mike, I don't know it, but can you share, how would people get in touch with us? Like, we want to be able to talk to someone from Monero that might give us be able to give us some real good insight
yes.
into what's happening lately.
We have an interview lined up with the creator of a Monero affiliated organization. That's all I'm going to say right now, because I don't want to spill the beans. But they're coming on. But yeah, okay. So here are the ground rules, folks. If you're with an interesting project, doesn't have to be crypto. It could be a VPN. It could be decentralized food, farming, decentralized blood banks. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
Here's a rule. Number 1, we will never ask you for money to be on the show.
No.
It's unthinkable to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've interviewed thousands of people over 15 years. Not once has anybody paid me, nor have I ever asked anybody for money to be interviewed.
Right.
Never happened.
Right.
Now, sometimes I interview people who are our sponsors. And in that case, I mention, oh, this is our sponsor, and they have intel and we're interviewing them, but that's all fully transparent. So that's how that works.
Yeah.
Secondly, if you want to contact us, I don't have the email right now, but it's going to be on decentralized.tv.
Okay.
So once that website goes live, hopefully by the time people see this, they'll have all the contact info there. It'll probably be a Proton mail address. Hey, I do want to give credit to our actual sponsor, which is the Satellite Phone Store. All right, here's the website, sat123.com. They are sponsoring this show. We thank them for their sponsorship. And they sell satellite phones and bivy sticks and solar readiness type of setups so that you can keep your phones charged. The bivy sticks are 2-way satellite messaging devices. Now, these all work when the cell towers do not work. So you might ask, well, how is this decentralized? I mean, they're not peer-to-peer phones. Yeah, I get that. But it's off the main power grid. And they can't track your location, you see. So if you want to protect your privacy, you would use a satellite phone or a bivy stick, because the satellites can't track your exact location. They can only pinpoint it within a large radius, right?
Hey, Mike?
Yeah.
Can I raise my hand?
Go for it, yeah.
I don't know what a bivy stick is.
Oh, I'm
Can
sorry.
you educate me?
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, yeah.
I'm used to on my show where it was all about crypto 101. It's some people talk over an old guy's head like mine, and I'm like, what's Bitcoin?
Okay, show my screen. This is a bivy stick. Okay, it's made by this company called ACR. This stick is a 2-way text communicator to satellite networks, and you use your mobile phone. You use your Bluetooth on your phone to talk to the bivy stick so that you can compose and read messages. So it allows you to send text messages to any cell phone, any mobile phone, any sat phone.
Wow.
You can, even to somebody's cell phone number, you can text them via satellite using the bivy stick. And these are used by all my friends, my operators on the border, the guys that are operators that do the border operations and sometimes rescue and exfil operations that we'll talk about one day. Anyway, they use these because anywhere in the world you can send a message and like your loved ones can get it. So even after hurricanes or earthquakes or whatever, the cell towers are down.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's very affordable. So the satellite phone store makes these available along with satellite phones, and they also have Faraday bags for privacy, and they have solar generators. So anyway, SAT123.com is the website if you want to check that out. And they're out of Inmarsat phones, by the way. They were texting me this morning. They only have the Iridium phones, which is actually the Iridium network is a really good network too, but they're more expensive. So
okay,
there's a supply chain
I think we
problem.
both share in this that it's my vision, your vision, that give this show a year. Wouldn't it be nice if your entire network ultimately we ended up stop using the I call them the Druid Babylonian bastards out there who run the world, stop using their money and ultimately be able to trade in different cryptos or different exchanges of value. I just love the idea that to be able to privately acquire all of this to where nobody knows.
Yes.
It's only our business.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, Todd. On every episode, we're going to show people a practical skill. Okay, so today's practical skill is the following.
Great.
Show my laptop. Exodus.com is where you can get the Exodus wallet. They're not a sponsor. They don't know I'm mentioning them. And also, if you go to getmonero.org, for example, you can download the Monero wallet. And no, Monero is not a sponsor either.
Nope.
Any sponsors I will always disclose. Okay, that's just a ground rule for my whole operation.
And any cryptos that we hold.
Oh, yes.
Discussing it, we're also going to disclose.
Good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So I hold a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm testing everything. I have less than one Bitcoin total.
Yep.
I have a few Moneros. I hold some of the Epic. I hold some of everything. I know you hold some of different things. You want to disclose? What are you holding? Like, you don't have to tell us amounts, but I mean, coins.
No, I would call it some dust of a lot of coins, but I'm heavily weighted towards Epic Cash just because I covered it for 2 years and I like the attributes of Epic Cash. But yeah, I am though, let me qualify that by saying that I am very eager to interview guests who are going to open my eyes to other projects that, because my head has been so down, that I haven't really considered. That other thing, I think this is a perfect opportunity to say, in the world of private crypto, it's historically been us versus them. Build yourself up by knocking other projects down. That's not what we're going to be about. No, we want to be able to be inclusive. And we believe that if all of the privacy cryptocurrency communities get together and let's do this math equation, like 1 + 1 + 1 doesn't equal 3, it equals 111. Let's just tap the power of our collective communities. That's what we want this show to be about. So it's not us versus them or Bitcoin's going to zero or any of that. No. Good point. Yes, I'm really glad you brought that up. I did want to mention that today. So if any of you are watching from other projects, we are not here to trash your projects. We are here to look at all the tech and to apply it and to talk about utility and to take an honest, independent look at all the technologies. I mean, personally, Todd, I haven't found what I yet am convinced is the perfect privacy coin. Maybe we will find that. Yep. Or maybe current projects that we know about will evolve and improve, and the perfect coin will be created. Every coin has advantages and disadvantages. Like even Monero, it's the blockchain is so huge. It took me 2 days to download just to sync the blockchain on one of my computers. I'm sitting there waiting for 2 days because it's massive. But it's a nature of the privacy. Anyway, everything's got advantages and disadvantages. But
Todd, can I give you a shout out, by the way?
Please.
When I was first looking at Epic Cash, that's how I found you and your channel. And I was like binge watching your broadcasts. And you taught me a lot about privacy currency. And that's how I discovered you and your influence and your value. And I got to say, I think you have been invaluable to the Epic Cash project for the years that you've been covering it.
Thank you.
I don't think that project would be anywhere close to its current value without your contributions and your education.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And that's why I invited you to be a co-host here, by the way. And so thank you for accepting that offer.
It took me about 2 seconds to say yes. And that was just because of a 2-second delay.
Right. That was the latency. But
Yeah.
but you have all this great background in teaching people, educating people about why privacy matters and understanding this, even though you were never a Bitcoiner,
No.
you were never running a pump and dump type of approach to different projects. You sure you don't have a newsletter where you recommend what people should buy that you're selling?
No newsletters, no newsletters. And by the way, I have acquired a lot of crypto. I've never sold any crypto that I've acquired
Really?
on an exchange. No,
Wow.
it's just been something that I recognize the power of private money.
Yes,
And-
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
talk about our private trade, by the way, because that was really cool. And
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
did this on purpose. When you were here, just for the audience to know this, we wanted
Yes.
to demonstrate the power of crypto and gold. So
Yes.
I brought, I think it was 4 U.S. Mint silver,
right.
gold 1-ounce coins, right?
That's right.
And I gave you the coins, and you transferred to me some amount of Epic. I forgot the amount, but whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
I know exactly what the amount is. And the reason why we did it is that the wallet called Epic Pay had just come out, and you downloaded the Epic Pay wallet. It was created by Diego Salazar, who he is going to be a guest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. With Stack
upcoming.
Wallet. Yeah.
Yeah, with Stack Wallet, and he created the Cake Wallet and Epic Pay Wallet. So I was excited because the Epic Pay Wallet was just released, or the latest version, and you downloaded it, and I was there with you, and I wanted to show you how fast it was.
Yeah.
And so you told me that you had those 4 gold eagles. I like acquiring gold. And so we talked about a peer-to-peer exchange of value, and I looked up how much at the time Epic Cash was, and I believe it was like $1.20 or something like that. And we determined that your gold coins were worth $8,000, and so I figured out what $8,000 was, and it was like 5,250 coins. So we were right there together, feet apart. I hit send, boom! Immediately you received it, and you handed me the 4 gold eagles.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Now,
That was awesome.
But what was funny about that exchange is that you didn't want to give up the Epic. And frankly, I didn't want to give up the gold.
Right. Right.
It was like, I was kind of doing it as a demonstration, and you were kind of doing it in your mind as a favor to me, I think.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, well, I can part with this gold as a proof of concept. But frankly, I didn't want to give up the gold.
I know.
But what's really funny, Uncle, is that trade that you and I did, which kind of is a historic trade, that one trade made history.
Yeah.
It brought us to where we are right now with this show.
It did.
And that trade did not involve fiat currency.
No, it didn't.
Isn't that cool?
And it did not. That at no point in time was there any risk of censorship of the transaction, confiscatability of it.
Right.
It's digital money versus a precious metal. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. And I actually think this is going to characterize the way the world works in the near future, because the next episode of this program here, we're going to talk about CBDCs with Attorney Jonathan Emord, who's running for the U.S. Senate.
Yep. Can't wait.
In Virginia. Yeah, it's going to be cool. But I think the future, in the near future, as the central banks try to push people into CBDCs,
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot more people locally doing what you and I did that one day, where people will have gold and silver and garden seeds and maybe some ammo and maybe some crypto or different kinds of crypto. And it's all going to be in the mix of what people are using to buy and sell and trade.
Yes.
All of it. And it's going to be, you're going to be talking about like, what's the price of this beef brisket in Bitcoin?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Instead of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting. I mean, if you take a look at it in dollars, what people are realizing, you're very good at explaining this, but can you educate the audience right now of if you hold $100 bill and you put it like grandma did under her mattress, right? What happens, Mike, to the purchasing power of that $100? And let's just talk about food
Oh man.
over a course of a year.
Well, yeah. I mean, right now in food, you're losing at least 2% per month in purchasing power, probably a lot more, maybe 2.5%. And that compounds month after month. So food prices can easily double in a year right now in this current environment.
Yes. And they are. We all feel it, right? We
absolutely.
all feel it.
Even at restaurants and grocery stores, and combined with the weather weapon droughts that are happening, it's going to get even worse. But hey, I forgot. Let me show people the skills here, okay?
Great.
We got a little sidetracked, which is fine, but I want to show people if they want to start with a wallet and actually have a wallet, download it, and start to use it. So if you go to exodus.com, now remember there is Cake Wallet, there's Stack Wallet, there's I can't recommend Atomic Wallet because they had a major hack, which is also a lesson we have to talk about. But Exodus Wallet is one that I've used for many years. It's really easy to use. It supports, what is this, thousands of assets. Okay, so you download it and you run it, and it shows up on your screen like this. So here's my Exodus Wallet, brand new. I have 0 XMR. In fact, if you look at all the assets I have in this wallet, it's 0 Bitcoin, it's 0 everything. It's all 0. It says start your journey. Okay.
It's been a crypto winter.
Yeah, there's nothing left. It's all gone. No, I just installed this, so there's nothing here. But I am running this Monero wallet, which now you can see, here's the 0.03 that I sent, earlier in the show. And here it is. And
Congrats on getting that tip.
I know. I'm so deserving of this fraction of a dollar, whatever it is. But what I would encourage everybody to do is you need to gain crypto literacy and just understand how to use all of these tools. Even if you're not an investor, you're not a speculator, because I'm not encouraging anybody to speculate. And there's going to be a big legal disclaimer at the beginning of this episode, by the way. This is not investment advice, and we're not pumping coins anyway. We're trying to show you how to use this in your life.
Yes.
So download Exodus or some other wallet, or multiple wallets. Cake Wallet's good as well. On the Bitcoin side, there's also some privacy-oriented wallets we'll talk about later, like Samurai Wallet and so on. And learn how to use this. Get a friend who knows crypto to send you 0.0001 of something, just so you can see it.
Yeah.
Right? That's our skill today. That's it. Download wallets and get a transfer. How's that?
Indeed. And I just want to encourage folks. I'm just gonna pump a social right now. I would invite everyone to go to Zammypup on Instagram.
What?
ZAMMYPUP. That's my dog. He is he was voted floofiest dog of Instagram. He is the Children's Hospital he's the Shriners Hospital for Children therapy dog. And he is so big and fluffy. He's amazing. He has like 130,000 followers as a dog.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
bring him up only because his groomer, I have to get him groomed every month, and it's pretty expensive. And I asked my groomer like 2.5 years ago, I'm like, Connie, would you like, would you like Green Cash or Epic Cash? And she had no idea what Epic was. And I said, here, watch my channel for a little bit. So she started saying Epic. So over the last 2.5 years, I have tipped her in Epic Cash. And what I would recommend, whatever your preferred coin is, that the best way to get mass adoption is to do it one colleague, friend, family member at a time. Just help them download a wallet. Help them acquire. Send them some
Yes.
free coins.
Start
Send them some
using it
free
locally.
coins. Yes, yes.
Right.
And it's so cool. It's so cool. I fundamentally believe she's had 2 children ever since. And I really believe that those Epic, which she basically delayed gratification of having the green cash that's going to be melting that she would spend like it was yesterday, that there's one day when you just never know. I know we don't talk about crypto assets from a pump standpoint, but there is numbers go up technology associated with these things. And against inflation, I think you're going to be able to hold your purchasing power better with cryptocurrencies. And so I'm so excited one day when she looks back and say, wow, I'm really glad I met Todd Pitner.
Okay, that's cool. I'm glad you relayed that story. But let me just take the counter argument. Crypto is taking a beating from the SEC right now. Obviously, right? Coinbase and Binance and so on.
Yep.
And so right now, I think there's a lot of risk until there's more clarity from the regulatory perspective, right? But
yeah, I certainly, yes. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
But my belief is that as soon as there is some clarity, even if it's like bad news, but now we know the rules,
right?
I think crypto will have an environment in which there's less uncertainty and a lot more confidence. And I think the utility of it, the usability will explode.
And, well, you know, and that's what I've learned about you. Usability or from you, usability, utility. If we start focusing on that now, instead of Lambo, you know,
right.
We're going to be better for it. And the guests that we have on, I just can't wait to just explore the attributes of their projects.
Yeah, absolutely. These projects, I think, are going to be very enlightening. I mean, just through this show, we're going to be able to meet some amazing people and share those introductions with the audience. And, you know, we're taking this journey together. Remember, the slogan of this show is building the infrastructure of human freedom. And we get to explore this together. I mean, Todd, think about it. It could be like episode 5 is some groundbreaking bombshell amazing thing that we can't even anticipate right now.
Right. And that's what's cool. There is no script here. So audience members watching right now, just know that we're going through the journey with you. It's not you going through the journey with us. It's just like we're exploring this together. And that's what's cool. We're all part of Team Explorer here.
Yes,
we don't know what we don't know right now, but we're going to discover it together. And there may be projects that we investigate to where at the end of the day, we're just going to candidly love the guests, but maybe it's, you know, not for me anyway.
Well,
you know,
no, thanks for bringing that up. I mean, we're not going to actively trash any project on this show, but we might, I mean, we can have different levels of enthusiasm based on what we learn, right?
That's right.
And we are going to honestly point out the pros and the cons of every project as we see it. And we're open to being corrected about that. And we don't charge guests to come on. How about that?
Right.
Hey, there's something I need to mention to the audience here before we run out of time, because, you know, we have show 2 coming up, Jonathan Emord. For those who are new to blockchain and crypto, and, you know, we just talked about downloading a wallet like the Exodus wallet. You need to understand that your coins are not stored in your wallet. And I know this is a difficult thing for some people to get used to. Your coins are stored on the blockchain, which is replicated by everyone, or all the nodes, which could be, you know, tens of thousands, or in some cases more. Your wallet simply gives you access to the control of your coins, because your wallet has essentially the cryptography keys to access those coins. I mean, that's a simplification, but that's basically it. So folks, when you set up your wallet, it will give you a seed phrase. And I think on Exodus, it's a 12-word phrase. I believe it is. You need that seed phrase gives you access to all your coins. You need to take it seriously. Write down that seed phrase on a piece of paper or etch it into steel and lock it up in a vault or something.
That's
Or
what I do.
memorize it, as you've done, Todd, I think with at least one of your seed phrases. If your wallet crashes, if your computer crashes, if your house burns down, your coins are safe because they're on the blockchain. All you have to do is go to another computer, launch Exodus, type in your seed phrase, and it will rescan all the blockchains because it supports, multiple chains. And it will restore all your coins from all those chains. Done. So, and that's a new concept for a lot of people. It's tricky to understand.
It is. And I think I'm going to encourage that we continue to revisit this.
Yes.
Not your coins, or
not your keys, not your coins.
Not your keys, your key phrase, not your coins. So if you're storing your crypto because you just are kind of just not motivated enough to figure out how to get a cold storage wallet, or to be able to get your coins, they're fine on Coinstore, right? But those coins aren't yours. They are just IOUs. So you never know. Things happen, folks. Things happen.
Yeah, look at the history of crypto. Mount Gox, for
Mount
example.
Gox, yeah.
Things happen.
So what happens exactly. And so here's the thing. You have to, and we're going to hammer this, but not your keys, not your coins. So when you ever get presented with a set of a seed phrase or keywords, usually it's 12 or 24, never, don't you dare, please, please, please hear me, never take a screenshot of it. Never. This is all you need to get your own little diary. I mean, good old-fashioned pen and paper. And you need to write those down. And as I shared, I have anything that I have seed phrases. I just got some metal sheets and a Dremel, and why did we do that? Because fires happen, right? And so and then I'll do it to where they're in multiple places, different houses, so that there are ways, and we're going to cover the different ways to be secure and keep them secure. Security is so important because here's what happens in crypto. Hear me on this. You are your own bank. And when things go wrong and you call customer service, it's going to ring your cell phone, and your customer service is probably going to be poor. What
is it with this customer service team? They don't know anything.
Yeah. So please, protect your keywords, your seed phrase, above and beyond everything. And when you write them down, write them in order. And maybe one time we can go through a process, Mike, to where we actually download a wallet and show people what do we mean by seed phrases and stuff, and just kind of sear it into your mind. But it's those little tips that I think you're going to get along the way, that we just want you to keep your money. Your private money.
We should have like a seed phrase storytelling competition. Like take 12 words and make a story out of it, because that's the easiest way to remember these words. Yeah,
that would be fun.
That's actually a really good exercise for oral presentation training.
It is
to link concepts together like that. So we should do that. Yeah. So
with my seed phrase for my largest holdings is 24 words. And I'll never forget, I was on a plane ride. I live in Tampa, Florida, I was flying to California, and it was like a 5-hour flight. And literally I started in Tampa, and I started with my keywords, my 24 words. And by the time I landed, I had written a story using those, and I had said it over and over in my mind with ridiculous connections from word to word that I'm just like, a zebra jumping over an umbrella. That's just an example. It's not one of my keywords.
Doesn't matter. There's still 22 more to guess in the proper order.
But if you do that and you link each one and you create a visual story, and I'm kinesthetic, so if you write it down, by the time I got there, I had them all memorized. It was awesome.
Yeah.
On the way back, I had a clean sheet of paper, and I went boom, 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 boom. And I actually do that probably once every other week. I sit down and I go through it. And guess what? If the you know what hits the fan and I got to get the heck out of Dodge with my family, I can go somewhere with a loincloth. And when I get to my destination, I find a computer, a mobile wallet. I can enter my seed phrase. My money's in my mind, folks.
Yep.
Right up here. And boom, my wealth is restored.
That is the most critical point in all of this. And we're about to wrap up this episode because we're going to connect with our episode 2 guest here shortly.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that, we live in a very uncertain world right now, right? Mm-hmm. Banks are failing in the United States. War is breaking out in Europe. Money printing is going insane. The national debt of the U.S. is over $32 trillion, and it's skyrocketing by trillions more every year. You need to be able to move digital assets without asking for permission to do so. And what you just described there, Todd, is the way to do it. You have the seed phrase, it's in your mind. Mm-hmm. No one can scan your mind, not yet anyway, and determine the words. No one can take them out of your head.
Nope.
I mean, they would have to maybe torture you and convince you to tell them, but you can always have a separate wallet with a smaller amount ready.
That's right.
In case you are kidnapped and tortured, you can have a different wallet ready to go.
Yes.
You got to plan ahead. That's
right.
If you get waterboarded, make sure you have a like a fake wallet.
Yeah. It's called the power of the prepper. You just got to prep for all of this.
Right. But hopefully you're not in that situation. Hopefully you didn't get kidnapped and tortured for your wallet.
Yeah.
Most thieves will just try to steal stuff that they can, take from you, i.e. taxing authorities, governments, banks. They'll just steal your accounts because they have control over them.
Yes.
Or physical thieves breaking into your house and trying to steal your gold while dodging rounds from your AR, by the way, whatever the case may be. Can you dodge bullets? Not today. But with digital private money, which is one of the main thrusts of our focus here, you're going to have portability, mobility, permissionless, non-confiscatability, censorship proof, and all the rest. As long as you have electricity and the nodes are still running and the internet still works, you're going to be in good shape. So any final thoughts here, Todd? We got to wrap up today's episode.
No, this has been great. And I have to tell you, I had a sneaky suspicion that we would have good energy together. And I believe we do. This has been a blast for me. I would like to invite everybody, if you want to come find me on Telegram currently while we get our decentralized TV Telegram set up. But, I have a group called t.me/epic private money, epic private money. And that means it's not all about epic. It is about epic private money. And so I invite anyone from Monero, from Firo, from any other projects, please come, because it is just like this show. It's 1 + 1 + 1 = 111. And we can't wait to engage with all of you out there.
That's awesome. But no, you're right. It's way more than just the individual components. You're exactly right. And this is an inclusive show in terms of all kinds of different projects and different guests. And no one is going to be shamed coming on here, by the way.
Nope.
We're not going to tell people that every other project in the world is a crap coin. And no, that's been done before, and it doesn't get you much in the world.
No. What good comes from that?
Not a good philosophy.
You know what you end up with? There's a bunch of other people that do that, and then it's just called an echo chamber. And that gets really boring really quick. And what happens is people then start making really good process, not progress. And we want to make good progress on this show.
Well, plus, think about it, Todd. How do we know that we aren't just one interview away from some kind of breakthrough knowledge that we don't currently possess? I mean, we can't be so arrogant that we think we know everything. I mean, we're smart enough to know that we know barely anything about the world.
Exactly.
But we're just honest enough to explore it and have transparency with it. That's all.
That's right. And the asset class of cryptocurrency and then the subclass of private crypto, we are just a just a small fraction of the world monetary supply, you know, so
True.
so there's a lot of room to grow. And just like back in, you know, the web 1.0 days, it's like the technology that we take for granted today, you know, when web 1.0 just started and we had the dial up AOL, right? You know,
That was a good. Oh,
it wasn't invented yet. What we take for granted now wasn't even invented yet. And it's going to be the same thing with crypto. There's going to be a project 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 2 months from now. And I hope we discover it. I hope we can bring it to our audience here, so that we can get just a little bit of a jump on the rest of the world. And we do that with an open mind.
That project may already exist.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. I mean, we're open to learning. But look, we got to wrap this up. This has been really fun and intriguing.
Awesome.
Thank you, Todd, for being the co-host here on episode 1. And thank you for watching. Of course, I'm Mike Adams, the founder of Brighteon.com. The website for this show is decentralized.tv. So you'll find all the resources there and all the episodes there as well. Our sponsor for today was a satellite phone store, sat123.com. And coming up in episode 2, we're interviewing attorney Jonathan Emord about CBDCs and how his campaign for the U.S. Senate is accepting privacy cryptocurrency as a campaign donation with other regulatory requirements, like you do have to give your name for the Federal Elections Commission compliance and so on. But anyway, we'll talk about that with him. Beautiful. So that's coming up in episode 2. Thank you for watching today, and thank you, Todd, for joining me. It's been fun.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Thank you all. Again, decentralized.tv is the website. Thanks for watching today. Take care.